Good morning, students. Today in this video we will study about flower. So how we can define flower? So flower is a modified reproductive suit of a plant. So the flower is the reproductive unit in the angiosperms. It is meant for sexual reproduction. So flower is a characteristic feature of angiospermic plant. Only the angiospermic plant they will produce flower. And what is the use of this flower in angiospermic plant? So they are meant for sexual reproduction. So plant they can reproduce by two methods. That angiospermic plant they can reproduce, they can increase their number by two methods. First one is vegetative propagation, and second one is through the by the process of sexual reproduction. And in sexual reproduction, that flower it will help them. So this is a diagram of a typical flower. So a typical flower consists of four different floral appendages, and these floral appendages are sepals, petals, stamen, and carpel. So these are the four different floral appendages. So all so this one single unit sepal. So all the sepals of a flower is collectively known as calyx. All the petals of a flower is collectively known as corolla. All the stamen of a flower is collectively known as androecium, and all the carpels of a flower is collectively known as gynoecium. And what are the different parts of carpel? So carpel is a female reproductive part of flower, and it consists of three parts: stigma, that flattened platform like structure over which pollen grains they will land. Second part of carpel is style, this long tubular structures, this is the style. And third part is the ovary. So this swollen base is known as ovary, and this ovary it contains ovule. Similarly, the male reproductive part of flower, which is the stamen, it consists of two parts, anther and filament. So this structure is known as anther, which contains the male gamete pollen grains. So pollen grains they will remain present inside anther, and this stalk like structure is known as filament. So all these floral appendages they remain present on a structure called receptacle. So this is a receptacle over which these sepals, petals, stamen and carpel they will remain present. And this is stalk of a flower. So the stalk of a flower is known as pedicel. So this is the basic information regarding the flower. Now a typical flower has four different kinds of whorls arranged successively on the swollen end of the stalk or pedicel called thalamus or receptacle. So a typical flower consists of four different whorls, and these floral appendages they will arise from these four different whorls. So on the outermost whorl their sepals will present, just inner to the sepal that petals will be present at the second whorl, and just inner to the petals on the third row that is stamen will present, and the innermost whorl it will be occupied by the carpels. So these floral appendages they will arrange in a whorl like manner. And what are these four different types of floral appendages? So these are calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So calyx and corolla. So these calyx and corolla are accessory organs, while androecium and gynoecium they are the reproductive organs. So calyx and corolla they will not take part in the process of sexual reproduction. So that's why they are called as accessory organ. But on the other hand, these androecium and gynoecium, androecium means sum total of all the stamen, gynoecium means sum total of all the carpels. So they are the reproductive organs, and hence they are known as necessary organ of flower. In some flowers like lily, the calyx and corolla are not distinct and are termed as perianth. So this perianth is very important. So in which plant we can see the presence of perianth? In lily plant. So in lily flower what will happen? The calyx and corolla means the sepals and petals they will get fused together, and they will form a common structure which is known as tepal, and all the tepals of a flower is collectively known as perianth. So in case of perianth what will happen? So petals and sepals they will get fused together. So in this diagram you can see that this particular part it is representing the petal, and this greenish part it is representing the sepal. So petals and sepals, they are not distinct, they get fused together and they will form a structure called perianth. And what is the unit of perianth? So tepal. When a flower has both androecium and gynoecium, it is bisexual. A flower having either only stamens or only carpels is unisexual. Now we can categorize flower on the basis of the reproductive structure present in them. If any flower will possess both the reproductive structure, means if any flower possesses stamen as well as carpel, so such type of flower is known as bisexual flower. But on the other hand, if any flower will possess either stamen or carpel, so such type of flower is known as unisexual flower. So in bisexual flower, both stamen and carpel will be present, but on the unisexual flower, either stamen or carpel will be present. So such unisexual flower which will possess only stamen, so such type of flower is known as staminate flower. And such type of unisexual flower which will only possess pistil or carpel, which is the female reproductive part of flower, so such type of flower is known as pistillate flower. So on the basis of androecium and gynoecium, we can categorize flower into two categories: bisexual flower having both the stamen and carpel, unisexual flower having either stamen or carpel. So another method by which we can categorize flower is on the basis of symmetry. The flower may be actinomorphic or zygomorphic. So on the basis of symmetry, flower can be of two types: actinomorphic and zygomorphic. So first we will discuss about the actinomorphic flower. So when a flower can be divided into two equal radial halves in any radial plane passing through the center, it is said to be actinomorphic. Example: mustard, dhatura, chili. So in actinomorphic flower, what will happen? So there will be many radial planes will be present, and if we will cut this flower through this radial plane, then flower will be divided into two equal half. Suppose that in this diagram, if we will cut this flower in this manner, then it will divided into two equal half. If this cut this flower through this plane, then also this flower will be divided into two equal half. If we will cut this flower into this plane, then also it will divide it into two equal half. So in actinomorphic flower, what will happen? There will be many planes by which we can cut flower into two equal half. So such type of flower is known as actinomorphic flower. And example is mustard, dhatura, chili. So these are the example of actinomorphic flower. Now on the other hand, second type of flower is the zygomorphic flower. So when it can be divided into two similar halves only in one particular vertical plane, it is zygomorphic. Example: pea, gulmohar, bean, cassia. So in zygomorphic plant, what will happen? So there will be only one single plane, and if we will cut this flower through that particular plane, then only flower will be divided into two equal half. So such type of flower is known as zygomorphic flower. So this is a diagram of zygomorphic flower. So if we will cut this flower through this axis, if we will cut this flower through this plane, then only it will divide it into two equal half. So such type of flower is known as zygomorphic. And example is pea, gulmohar, bean. So these are all zygomorphic flower. Another type of flower on the basis of symmetry is irregular flower. So a flower is asymmetric or irregular if it cannot be divided into two similar halves by any vertical plane passing through the center, as in canna. So asymmetrical flower will be those flower which cannot be divided into two equal halves. Either we can cut it through any plane, there will be no any such plane by which we can divide flower into two equal half. And example is canna. So this is the diagram of that canna flower. So this is a asymmetrical flower, or it is irregular flower. So what are the different types of flower on the basis of symmetry? Actinomorphic flower, zygomorphic flower, and asymmetrical flower. Now, a flower may be trimerous, tetramerous, or pentamerous when the floral appendages are in multiple of 3, 4, or 5 respectively. So, another method by which we can categorize flower on the basis of the floral appendages present in them. If the floral appendages will be in multiple of 3, then it will be known as trimerous flower. If the floral appendages like petals, sepals, stamen, carpel, they will be in multiple of 4, then such type of flower will be known as tetramerous flower. And if the floral appendages will be in the multiple of 5, then such type of flower is known as pentamerous flower. So in this diagram, so trimerous, tetramerous and pentamerous flowers is given. Now another method by which we can categorize flower on the basis of bracts. So what is bract? Bract is a leaf-like structure which will arise from the pedicel, from the base of pedicel of flower. So on the basis of presence and absence of this bract, flower can be categorized. If the bract will be present at the base of pedicel, so such type of flower is known as bracteate flower. On the other hand, if this bract will remain absent at the base of pedicel, so such type of flower is known as ebracteate flower. So this is a diagram of a bracteate flower. So you can see that this is a bract which will arise from the base of pedicel. So if this bract will remain present, then such type of flower is known as bracteate flower, and if this bract will remain absent, then such type of flower is known as ebracteate flower. Now another method by which we can categorize the flower into different category is the based on the position of calyx, corolla and androecium in respect to the ovary. Means what is the position of calyx, what is the position of calyx, corolla and androecium with in respect to the ovary. So flower can be divided into 3 different types: hypogynous flower, perigynous flower and epigynous flower. So this is the most important, that categorization of flower. So usually question comes in exam from here, that what are the different types of flower on the basis of position of calyx, corolla and androecium in respect of the ovary on thalamus. So flower are of 3 different types. So on the position of floral parts on thalamus, on the basis of the position of sepals, petals and stamen with respect to ovary, flowers are of 3 different types: hypogynous flower, perigynous flower and epigynous flower. So this diagram number A, this is the hypogynous flower. These two diagram, these two are the perigynous flower, and this last diagram, this is the epigynous flower. So first we will discuss about the hypogynous flower. In the hypogynous flower, the gynoecium occupies the highest position, while the other parts are situated below it. The ovary in such flowers is said to be superior. Example: mustard, China rose and brinjal. So in hypogynous flower, what will happen? So this ovary part, so this ovary will be the at the highest position, and all the sepals, petals and stamen, so they will arise below from the ovary. So such type of flower will be known as hypogynous flower, and such type of ovary is known as superior ovary. So this is also very important line. So simply question will come, in which type of flower the ovary will be superior? So answer should be hypogynous flower. And example is that mustard, China rose, brinjal, these are the common examples of hypogynous flower. Now second type of flower, which is the perigynous flower. So if gynoecium is situated in the center and other parts of the flower are located on the rim of the thalamus almost at the same level, it is called perigynous. The ovary here is said to be half inferior. Example: plume, rose and peach. So in perigynous flower, what will happen? We have to remember that the sepals, petals and stamen, they will arise from the same level of the ovary. Means what, at whatever the level of ovary, from that same level sepals, petals and stamen, they will arise. So such type of flower is known as perigynous. So peri means that boundary or periphery. So we have to remember that in perigynous flower, sepals, petals and stamen, they will arise from the same level of ovary. And example of perigynous flower is plume, rose and peach. And such type of ovary present in perigynous flower is known as half superior or half inferior ovary. In old NCERT book it is given half superior, half inferior, but in recent NCERT book you can see that it is given only half inferior ovary. Now come to the last type of flower, which is the epigynous flower. So in epigynous flowers, the margin of thalamus grows upward, enclosing the ovary completely and getting fused with it. The other parts of flower arise above the ovary, hence the ovary is said to be inferior, as in flower of guava and cucumber, and the ray florets of sunflower. So in epigynous flower, what will happen? So the receptacle part over which the sepals, petals, stamen and carpel they remain present. So these receptacle part they will grow upward and it will enclose the ovary completely, and from the top of the ovary sepals, petals and stamen they will arise. So such type of flower is known as epigynous flower, and in epigynous flower the ovary is known as inferior ovary. And what is the example of epigynous flower? So it is commonly seen in guava, cucumber. So these are the three different types of flower. On what basis we have categorized these three different types of flowers? So on the basis of position of sepals, petals and androecium with respect to the ovary which is located on the thalamus. Flowers are of three types: hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous flower. In hypogynous flower the ovary is superior, means from below the ovary sepals, petals, stamen they will arise. In perigynous the ovary is termed as inferior. At the same level of ovary sepals, petals and stamen they will arise. And in epigynous flower the ovary is termed as inferior. From the above of ovary, from the top of the ovary sepals, petals and stamen they will arise. And you have to remember the examples of all these three types of flower. So this much only in this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.